This is It's Seahawks Nation. This is the moment. What's up, 12s? Victor here, and today is not just another news update. This is Week 18. This is Seattle versus San Francisco, and this is for everything. The Seahawks just made late high-stakes roster moves ahead of tonight's showdown against the 49ers, cutting ties with an important player, adding critical tackle depth, and making it clear Seattle is in win-now mode. Before we break it all down real quick, this channel just started and our next goal is 500 subscribers. So if you bleed blue and green, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and help us build Seahawks Nation Update into something special. Alright, let's lock in. The headline move. The Seahawks have officially waived safety D'Anthony Bell, according to the team's announcement. Bell's stint in Seattle was short. He was added from the practice squad earlier in December to provide depth in the secondary. But as the season reaches its most critical point, the front office had to make a tough call. And let's be clear, this isn't about Bell being a bad player. This is about roster math, urgency, and priorities. In Week 18, every snap matters. You don't carry luxury depth. You carry players you might need tonight. Why the offensive line forced Seattle's hand? The real story here is the offensive tackle situation. Seattle has been patching together the edges of the offensive line for weeks now. Charles Cross is injured. Josh Jones has been forced to fill in at left tackle. Abraham Lucas has been part of the rotating depth picture. That's not ideal, especially when you're about to face one of the most aggressive defensive fronts in the NFL. So Seattle made the call to add another true tackle body to the 53-man roster heading into this game. This isn't about upside, it's about survival and stability. Against the 49ers, if your tackles can't hold up, the game is over before it starts. Injured reserve reality check. On the flip side of the urgency, Seattle also had to deal with the reality of injured reserve rules. Once a player lands on IR, they must miss at least 4 games, and teams are limited in how many players they can designate to return, even with some postseason flexibility. At this stage of the season, that timeline is brutal. That's why the Seahawks are prioritizing healthy, functional depth over developmental pieces. You need bodies that can step on the field right now. What this means for the depth chart, this move tells us a lot about where Seattle's head is at. The secondary depth is stable enough. The offensive line depth is not. Tackle insurance is more valuable than safety depth in this matchup, and that makes total sense. San Francisco's pass rush will test every inch of Seattle's protection. You don't want to be one injury away from disaster in the biggest game of the season. The stakes, win, and you're the no 1 seed. Let's talk about what's really on the line. This is not just a regular season finale. Winner gets the NFC's no 1 seed, first round by home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Lumen Field, January football. That crowd, the stakes literally cannot be higher. That's why these moves matter. They're not flashy, but they're necessary. This is what serious contenders do at the end of the season. I actually love this move. It shows awareness. It shows urgency. It shows a front office that understands how fragile this moment is. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you confident in the offensive line tonight? What worries you most about facing the 49ers? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you're hyped for this game, like the video, subscribe, and help us reach 500 subscribers as Seahawks Nation Update keeps growing. I'm Victor, and tonight, it's simple. Win the game. Go Hawks.